Hey everyone, welcome. And today we're going to teach you how to solve the Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube is solved layer by layer. So first, you solve the white face and the first layer at the same time. Then you'll solve the second layer, and then finally the top layer, along with the yellow face. Before we solve the cube, we need to, of course, scramble it. So I'm going to do that right now. The first step you need to do is build the white cross. To do this, you need to look for edges on the bottom of the cube with the white facing down. Then, by moving the bottom layer, rotate it until the edge matches up with the corresponding centerpiece. From there, you can move it up to the top layer. You do the same for the rest of the edges. If you have a case where the edge is on the bottom layer, but the white is not facing down, move it to its spot where it should correspond, and do this to get the white facing down. Now that the white is facing down, you can simply move it to the top layer. If you get a case where the edge is stuck in the second layer of the cube, but is inside one of the other edges here, you simply move the edge down to the bottom layer, move it out of the way, and put the other edge back up. From there, you move it up just like you did before. Once you've completed the cross, the next step of solving the Rubik's Cube is inserting the white corners into these 4 slots, which will complete the white face. A corner in good position is one that's in the bottom layer here, with the white facing you. For example, this is a good corner. Because this is the blue, white, and red corner, it belongs in this spot, corresponding with the blue, white, and red centerpieces. To insert this corner, you must first put it underneath the slot that it needs to go into. Then perform the simple set of moves. If you are inserting a corner that is on the other side of the cube, here instead of there, you simply mirror the set of moves that you do. If you get a case where a corner piece is in the top layer, but not oriented correctly or in the right position, you do these set of moves to get it out and set it up in the correct spot. If you get a case where a corner piece is in the bottom layer, but is facing down, you do this set of moves. Set up the corner so it's still underneath the spot it needs to go into, and do this. Now that it's in good position, you simply insert the corner. Now that we have solved the white face and the first layer, we can move on to the second layer. Once we get to this stage, we'll flip the cube completely upside down so now that the yellow face is on top. When we get to this point in the solve, we'll be looking for edge pieces, like these, on the top layer that do not have yellow. So, this is an edge piece that we are looking for, and this is also one that we are looking for. Our goal is to insert them into the spots into the second layer. To do so, you will pick one of the edges, so I'll pick this one, and you match up the color facing you with the corresponding centerpiece, like so. Now, you perform this algorithm. You'll move the top piece away from the slot it's going into. Then, you lift the slot up, then you put the edge back, and you put the slot back down. What you did was matched up the corner and the edge piece. So now that when you go to put the edge piece and the corner piece back in to where it needs to go on the white face, the edge piece will follow it and insert itself into the second layer. Just like inserting a corner piece on the white face, this algorithm can be mirrored to put an edge piece into the opposite side. If you get a case where an edge piece is already inserted to its right spot, but is oriented backwards, you simply put another random edge piece, like this one, into that spot to move the other edge piece out of the way. Then, you can put the edge piece back in the right way. Once you've solved the complete second layer, you can move on to the next step, which is solving the yellow cross on the top of the third layer. You can have 4 different types of cases. You can have a dot, you can have an elbow, you can have a horizontal line, or you can have the cross completely filled in. Before I teach you the algorithm to solve the yellow cross on the top of the third layer, you first need to know the notation, which tells you what specific turns to do on the cube, using letters and letters with dashes. Each side is assigned a letter. The right side is R. The left side is L. The front is F. The top is U. And finally, the back of the cube is B. And the bottom is D. Anytime that a letter is shown by itself, it means you turn that side in a clockwise motion. This is tricky because the R turned clockwise will go this way, but the L turned clockwise will come towards you. It is important to determine which way to turn the sides. If a letter has a dash after it, it means that the rotation is prime or inverted. Would turn clockwise this way, but an F prime would turn counterclockwise. Now that you know the notation for writing algorithms and how they correlate to the turns on a Rubik's Cube, you can now learn the algorithm to solve the yellow cross. You will be looking for a horizontal line when performing this algorithm, and it is as follows: F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. If you have an elbow like this, you put the points of the elbow towards U and towards the right, and you simply perform that same algorithm, but you end up doing it twice. So you do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And once you do that, you have the horizontal line, which means you do it one more time to complete the cross. If you just have a dot with no edges facing up, you simply keep doing the algorithm until you get cases that will complete the cross. So now you have the elbow, and now you have the horizontal line, which means you'll solve the cross on this turn of the algorithm. By completing the cross, you've oriented all the edge pieces on the top layer so that they're facing up with the yellow. The next step is to orient all of the corner pieces in the top layer so that the yellow is facing up. To complete the soon algorithm, you're looking for a fish, like this. Then you look at the head and see which side has a yellow facing you. You put the side with the yellow facing you in the front. If the yellow is facing you on the right side, you do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. If you look at the head of the fish, and the yellow is on the left, do this algorithm. L prime, U prime, L, U prime, L prime, U2, L. A lot of times, you will get cases where there isn't a fish on the top of the yellow face. You simply do the soon algorithm multiple times until you get a fish on top. Then you can complete the yellow face. It is very common that it will take multiple tries to get the fish onto the top face. Once you have completely solved the yellow face, there are 2 more algorithms you'll need to know to solve the rest of the third layer. These algorithms are called permutations. The first one will rotate 3 corners in a clockwise direction. The second one will rotate 3 edges in a clockwise direction. This is all you need to know to solve the rest of the third layer. The first algorithm I'll be teaching you is an A permutation, which moves these 3 corners in a clockwise direction. First, look and see if you have any headlights. A headlight is this, which are 2 corners with the same color facing towards you. If you have headlights, choose a different corner. I'll choose this one. Now, set it up in its correct spot. Once you do that, put that corner in the bottom left and perform this algorithm. X, which is a full cube rotation. Then R prime, U, R prime, D2, R, U prime, R prime, D2, R2. If you perform the A permutation and the corners are still not set up, do it one more time and the corners will be in the right spot. Now that you've solved all 4 corners, it is time to move on to the edges. To move the edges around, you'll use a U permutation, which will move these 3 edges in a clockwise motion. Find the edge that is already in the solved position and put it in the back of the cube. Then perform this algorithm. R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. If you do this algorithm and the edges are not solved, you simply just do it one more time to solve the cube. If you're looking at your cube and none of the edges are solved, do the algorithm once on any spot of the cube. Now, there should be one edge that is solved, which you can put in the back, and then do the algorithm one more time to solve it.